Hi everybody, welcome to the vlog. Going to do a slightly shorter video. Okay, something that I was discussing in one of my workshops a couple of days back. So a question that I got from one of the participants is to say, what are the sure shot way of doing well in my career? What is it that I need to do to excel? Of course, this is a very, very broad and long topic of what needs to be done to professionally succeed. But something that I said that I thought was interesting was I said that a good way of excelling in your career is that if a target has been set for you of 100, consistently get 150. If you get 150% of your targets or of your KRAs consistently, if on paper, that's the time you start standing out in a system. A lot of people are under the impression that just barely meeting their numbers or doing well on their KRAs is the formula of success. And very often my thought there is to say that if you meet your numbers, that's your way of retaining your current job. That's not the way to stand out. But if you want to make progress at a rapid pace, that is only going to happen when you're doing 150% of your numbers. Okay, now, the other thing to consider here is it's not just about what you do, it's also about what your peers do or people on your team do, right? So for example, if you're in a sales team and you're doing 150% of your numbers, but so is everybody else, in that case, again, you don't stand out, right? So if you want to break through performance, you need to do at least 50 to 100% more than people doing a job which is very similar to yours or in the same profile. Now, why is this so important? Because very simply, if you're working in a slightly larger organization or even a medium-sized organization, the people at the top are really looking at the numbers, right? So they're judging you very objectively based on figures that they see. And if you're the kind of person to consistently produce a better figure, there is no reason why they should not ensure that you make progress, because you have then become valuable to the system. The minute you're not doing that, you're not so valuable to the system. Maybe you're just meeting your numbers and you are. If you really want to stand out, you know the road to go. I often give the example of saying that, listen, in a cricket match, if everybody is scoring a century in a certain test match, yeah, sure, it'll count for it a century, but that isn't considered like a big thing, right? But the minute a cricketer like a Virat Kohli actually goes into a tough arena, he goes into on a tough wicket, he goes into a critical match where most people aren't able to do it, and then he produces a spectacular result. That is when you really stand out as a professional. So what's the takeout here? Instead of spending your time complaining about how the system isn't taking notice of you, do 150 or 200% of the targets that you get. Overachieve by that much and do it so consistently that people don't have a choice but to take notice of you. A favorite quote of mine is from Steve Martin, the very famous American comic and actor, who essentially said, be so good that they can't ignore you. So that is what I would recommend you to do. Be so good at what you do that the system just can't ignore you. Okay? Thank you very much. Tell me if this was helpful. I'll keep sharing more insights that I had from the workshop that I do, since I meet so many professionals. They ask me so many questions. I know that these are questions that people have by and large, and I'm just going to take each one of them and try to answer them through this vlog. Okay? Thank you very much.